Time for a high and low quick bite. Last week, we closed out the high and low Sweet 16 tournament and crowned Michael Jordan as the high and low GOAT. This week, we're pivoting. During the past week, we learned that Giannis Antetokounmpo will be staying in Milwaukee for another 5 years, spurning the opportunity to play in Toronto as many Raptor fans had hoped for. Two of those fans happen to be part of the high and low team, so our group chat was peppered with their thoughts on Giannis, Milwaukee, the Raptors organization, the NBA, basketball in general. Shots were fired over and over again as these two work through their emotions. I don't know, man. I gave them some tissue and I offered one an opportunity to vent on the podcast, and that sparked a strange debate about who had the right to rant, or who had the better rant, or who would have the better rant. So I don't know. I've offered both the opportunity to rant about Giannis, Milwaukee, the Raptors, the NBA, basketball, et cetera, et cetera. So the two people I'm talking about, just in case you haven't guessed yet, are Sean and Ugo. So this is our VR, man, our rant v rant segment, in which it's Sean versus Ugo to see who can destroy, who can flay their target better or worse. We'll see what happens. But let's start with Ugo, man. Ugo, you have some things to get off your chest about everything that's happened this week. So go ahead.
All right. So, as some of you may or may not know, Giannis and I do share the same name. So this is coming straight from the heart. So number one, Giannis, I look at you and all I can say is, hey, woo, what is wrong with you? I understand you getting that bag. I get it. I can live with that. But you're making people upset. Everybody knows you're not staying there after next year. Is your team really that much better than what you've had the last 2 years? Are you really willing to commit yourself to another 5 years of bullshit deer salt lick? Really? Like, come on, man. We know what's up. You want to show a little bit of loyalty, and then when you guys flop around again in the first round, yes, the first round of the playoffs, you'll go to where you should have gone in the first place. Okay? It's destiny. Now, the minute I saw that signing, I didn't care. I just laughed. Don't change a damn thing. The plan is still the same come next year. Get Giannis. Okay? Now, I was good all day until I happened to log into social media, saw a couple of ignorant Raptor fans. We never get any free agents. And I was good. But then I go into my group chat and my brethren, my brother, I'm hearing Sean, no free agents in Toronto. And I'm sitting here like, yo, you're a stats man. You're a smart man. You're a smart dude. I would trust you with $5 in my pocket right now. Not 10, but 5. Okay? Name me a time where a team got a free agent and it worked out for them. Okay? Miami? Okay, yeah, they got LeBron. How many championships did he bring them? Okay? There's only one team in the NBA that gets free agents that it pans out for them. You know who that team is? It's Steven's Dutty Lakers.
I'm smiling.
That's the only team that gets free agents and signs them, and it makes it work. But think about this. Ask yourself a question, okay? If you had a chance to play on any team in the NBA today, okay, what team you going to pick? Steven, what team you going to pick?
Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay. Ikenna, what team you going to pick?
Hold on, just tapping the mic just to make sure it's on. Los Angeles Lakers.
All right. Mitch, what team you going to pick?
Abstain,
exactly. Because we know the truth. All right? Now listen.
Wait. Aren't you going to ask me?
No, I'm not going to ask you because you got to rebut. But this is my thing.
My answer was not Milwaukee. That was my answer.
The Los Angeles Lakers are there's only a few franchises in all of sports, okay, that make these kind of moves. They don't give listen, if they're lucky enough to draft a Hall of Famer, Oh, yeah, sure, you sit on that, okay? But there's only like a handful of franchises across the world that pluck the prime FAs and it pans out for them, okay? All these Raptor fans I hear, nobody wants to come to my city. Who gives a damn? If you repping where you from and you love where you from, don't be crying about why somebody won't come to your town. Who cares? You think the San Antonio Spurs are crying for the last 20 years about no free agents signing over there? Those guys have the absolute best regular season record and 5 championships to show for it. Why are we crying? What are we really crying about at the end of the day? Because LeBron won't come to Toronto? Okay, LeBron, fine. Anthony Davis won't come to Toronto? Okay, fine. Who else? Who are we really crying about not coming to Toronto aside from Giannis? Okay, we weren't crying about Jimmy Butler when he went to Miami, right?
I was crying when Kawhi didn't come back to
Yeah,
Toronto.
you're crying about Kawhi for sure. Some of us
listen. I'll tell you this right. I'm putting out here right now. Okay, we cried about Kawhi, yes, because Kawhi was stupid. Okay, everybody knows Kawhi should have done a 1+1+1. Okay, but he went to the Clippers because he thought the Clippers were better. Now look where he's at. You think that dude's gonna win a championship in the next 3 years? Honestly, now, you think he's gonna win a championship in the next 3 years with what LeBron's got going over there? Right? Look at the Raptors. We've moved from a joke to a build-up to an elite team. Okay, we could arguably sit there and say, listen, who's the dude that stopped us from winning more championships? LeBron James. Okay? And that's LeBron's job. He's the kingmaker. Anywhere he goes, he has a path of destruction for all the other teams. He goes out west, everybody's like, oh, shit, here we go. This shit, we're going to have to wait for this guy to leave.
Hey.
He left. Everybody was all happy. You know what I mean?
Language.
I get it. But what I'm saying is, what are we really crying about here? Our team is good. We've been good for at least 7 years. What are we crying about here? In Masai we trust.
Yeah, that must be rhetorical.
I know you want to answer it. So I'm going to put this out here right now. I'm going to put a curse on Giannis. Right?
Oh
He's going to have some bad juju this year. I'm going to put a curse on Kawhi because he's the one that made everybody cry in the first place. And I'm going to put a curse on LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Spite,
exactly. I'm going to put a curse on all 3 of them. I already got the chicken blood and all splattered on my wall with their names and everything. Okay? That's a promise. All 4 of them are getting it this year.
Wrap it up, B.
And that's it.
All right. So that was Ugo's rants.
You can cut it if you have to.
Sean, this man just basically blasted you with everything he had and basically accused you of crying.
So
that's what I took away from it. So it's your turn to what's your rant?
Ugo's description of me and Raptors Nation crying in the fashion that he described us as was 100% accurate. We were definitely crying. So really got nothing to say about that. But, there actually were certain Raptor fans that were certain that the Bucks were not going to even offer Giannis a max contract. They were also certain that Giannis was going to sign in Toronto. So, we're all going to cope in our own way. Some of us are going to cry. Some of us are going to lie. But it is what it is. And one point I want to address that we weren't winning titles whether we played against LeBron or not in that era. There's no way we're losing. If we weren't losing to LeBron, we're losing to whoever LeBron played in the finals. At best, we're probably not making the finals either. But there was 1 year we made the conference final. But other than that, we were not a championship team. But anyway, back to just my rant here. I'll be honest. When the signing of Giannis to the Bucks was announced, I was pretty upset, as you guys have all attested to. My anger wasn't really directed at any one person, and it's probably not even justified. It's essentially directed at the fact that our team plays in Canada, and the majority of NBA players are American and don't want to move here. And before 2019, I accepted this and was willing to cheer for whatever the organization was able to put together. And in the last 8 years or so, that's been a very good product. In 2019, they won the title. They finally put the Raptors on the map. Then came the Giannis rumors. Masai is super close to Giannis' family. Giannis loves Toronto. Toronto's Greek population is going to help lure Giannis here. Blah, blah, blah. This was by far the best chance Toronto ever had of signing an all-NBA, perennial all-NBA caliber player that wasn't an incumbent. Deep down, I didn't believe he would sign, but for some reason, when he re-upped in Milwaukee, it really bothered me. The biggest free agent name the Raps have ever signed is Hedo friggin' Turkoglu. Turkoglu! I'll even throw DeMar Carroll in that combo, coming off a 16 and 8 year, then becoming a shell of that for the rest of his career. And then, you know what? The more I thought about it, the more I saw where Giannis is coming from. I think whether or not he plans on staying in Milwaukee long term, he was always going to sign this deal. He had to sign that deal. That way, he makes the max money possible. And at least at the end of the day, if he does demand a trade or whatever, Milwaukee is able to get something in return. And he doesn't walk for free. And we all know the teams have all cleared cap space, so don't be surprised if he does ask for a trade next year. He may have already done that. They may have been like a unofficial part of the contract that they've already decided. He must know that he's not winning a title in Milwaukee. At some point during my 3 days of ranting, I wanted to research which teams in North American professional sports have had the worst luck in free agency, but I didn't have time to do that. So, I don't think Toronto is really alone in this. The more I thought about it, before LeBron, Cleveland hadn't really signed anyone. Mark Price and Brad Daugherty were both drafted by the Cavs, I think in the same year. Nobody wants to play in Detroit, Minnesota, Milwaukee. Even warm weather teams. Who the Cavs?
The Cavs.
Yeah, but he wasn't the same Sean Kemp though. He was, I think, coming off a stint in rehab,
he looked more like Newman as a mailman as opposed
to No rain,
man. Yeah. Even the warm weather teams like Sacramento have issues signing talent. So at this point, I'm looking at guys like Jamal Murray, maybe RJ Barrett if he ever figures it out, to one day sign in Toronto. That may be the only chance that we have, kind of like LeBron going home to Cleveland. So I realize this is supposed to be a rant, but it's become more of a therapy session for me. I've had a few days to cool off, and I've gone through different stages. Started with denial, then anger, then acceptance, then rationalizing. I guess I'm on stage 4, rationalizing. So I've come to accept that the Raptors formula is and always will be: draft well, develop from within, find those hidden gems that a lot of other teams either pass up on or don't know about, and when the time is right, make that trade. The only issue now is that we may not have that DeRozan-like trade piece to attract a Giannis next year, unless there's a package with OG that becomes trade bait. All right, maybe I'm still in denial.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, you're hoping a lot.
That's it. I'm done.
Wait, do you still think that Toronto's going to permanently move to Tampa, or are you off of that?
Part of me wants them to permanently move to Tampa. I'm so disgusted with what happened.
Really?
No, come on.
God, don't scare me. We've always been one piece away for like those are the signings that you talked about.
That's what makes it hurt, right?
It makes it more frustrating. And like I was saying, like we won the title. That's supposed to catapult us to the next level of attractive franchises. It happens in a lot of other sports. Maybe not so much in basketball because.
Listen, once
but
you get over
hold on, Hugo. Hold on. The other problem with that too is that not only did we win the title, we also have Masai, who's supposed to be like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
if a championship team can attract and the best GM in the league can attract, then I hear what you're saying. What's it going to take?
Yeah, exactly. Where like you were saying that the Raptors are going to sign Giannis, and you're all about it.
Yeah.
So why is this all of a sudden different now?
Listen, does it matter that they signed him? We've seen.
Like I said, like he was going to sign that anyway. He was 100% going to sign that.
All right. So okay. So he doesn't sign and he's traded. Are you gonna you want to hold me accountable for not signing? I'm okay with
even if
you said that they were not going to, that Bucks were not going to sign him.
Listen. Want me to admit I'm wrong? I can say I'm wrong. That don't matter though. That don't matter. Listen, if you're the Bucks, what else are you gonna do? right? If you're
Simon?
Giannis,
Well,
what else you gonna
that's what we were saying.
do, right? Listen,
Exactly.
listen, it's all good. I was wrong. I can admit that. I'm just saying, Giannis, like, what are you doing? Like, listen, he can't be honest and say, listen, they gave me money, so I had to take it. You know what I mean?
Why can't we have nice things though? Can we just have one nice thing, please?
So if we get him via trade, are you going to be
One nice
okay? At some point, Giannis has to sit there and say, who the hell am I going to be in this NBA? What's my legacy going to be? The best regular season MVP ever? Come on, man. Nobody's going to remember that shit in 10 years. You know what I mean?
Why are you cursing?
Come on, man.
He goes on.
Told you he's in denial. He's not like
I'm
his
just
emotions
saying.
coming out.
All right, I'm done. I'm done with this. Let's move on to the next topic. Next
All
topic.
Okay.
More work.
And that was the rant by Ugo, and that was Sean's rant, and that was Quick Bite. Yeah.
Long bite.
So tune in every week, and we'll continue to have this bonus content for you. And you can find High and Low everywhere you find podcasts. We'll see you next week.